As the 80th anniversary of D-Day approaches, we are remembering and honoring those who died fighting for our freedom. Many of them are buried in the Normandy American Cemetery, just yards away from where the invasion happened. Maria Elena Dolores takes us there.
About 12,000 American service members are either buried or remembered here at the Normandy American Cemetery. And every year, about 2 million people from around the world come here to learn about these people and pay their respects. 9,338. That's how many people are buried within the hallowed grounds of the Normandy American Cemetery.
This cemetery commemorates the sacrifice of an entire young generation, but also the sacrifice of all those families, because they were all the son or the brother of someone. Many of them just got a child before they left home. Many of them just got married before they left home. There were husbands, parents, but they were all part of a family.
Marble crosses mark most of the graves within the cemetery, but in recent years, there's been an effort to acknowledge the soldiers of Jewish heritage who hid their religion during and after the war. The cemetery made a promise to change their grave markers at the request of their families.
We're still honoring this promise.
Now there are 152 Stars of David in Normandy American Cemetery. There are 45 sets of brothers who are buried in the cemetery, including 33 who are buried side by side. That includes 2 sons of President Theodore Roosevelt, Brigadier General Theodore Roosevelt Jr. and Lieutenant Quentin Roosevelt, who's the only World War I aviator buried in Normandy. When family members visit the grave of their loved one, cemetery officials perform a sand ceremony as a way to honor that soldier.
We take some sand coming from Omaha Beach and we put it to highlight the name of the service member.
Within this sacred place is also a memorial with a semicircular garden. More than 1,500 names of the missing are inscribed on the wall.
In this cemetery are buried more than 300 people, but we don't know their names. Their names are inscribed on the wall of the missing.
Rosettes mark the names of those since recovered and identified, a way to always remember those who fought and died on the beaches of Normandy. The folks who work here know it's not easy for everybody to come to Normandy and pay their respects in person, so they encourage everybody at home to learn about veterans in their community and honor them. In Normandy, I'm Maria Elena Dolores.
World War II veterans arrived in France today to take part in ceremonies marking the upcoming 80th anniversary of D-Day. More than 60 veterans making the trip from Dallas, Texas to France. The servicemen ranging in age from 96 to 107 years old. The flight is one of several taking veterans to France for the commemoration. The men, like veteran Ralph Goldsticker, say they were just doing what they felt they had to do.
We did our job and we came home, and that's it. We never talked about it. For 70 years, I didn't talk about it. And I got the French Legion of Honor.
Almost 160,000 Allied troops, 73,000 from the U.S., stormed the beaches at Normandy on June 6, 1944, for the historic battle. Over 2,500 American soldiers were killed.